right, welcome everybody to this year's third edition of Bears Talk Live.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, thanks everyone who's here in person. Thanks everyone watching on Facebook. We are here with the presenting sponsor of the show, Jay Brown Realty. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome, man.
How
Thanks for coming. So I got a few softball questions for you to promote the business and get you guys out here since you're the presenting sponsor.
Okay.
All right, so tell the people a little bit about Jay Brown Realtors, how you guys got started, and what you guys do, just for the people out there that might not be familiar with you guys.
All right, so we are a small residential real estate firm.
Okay.
We're located downtown in Hickory, just about a mile away. And we are a little different than your traditional real estate firm. We are a team rather than just a bunch of individual agents. So we work together, we talk together, we meet daily. We each have a different role throughout the process to make sure that it's a great experience for our clients.
Love it.
And to make sure that everything's really smooth and everything's top quality as we go through the process.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know we've had a few of our own LR Athletics employees that have actually used you guys in the purchasing of houses.
Yes.
So we know firsthand that you guys do an incredible job. Speaking to the Lenoir-Rhyne side of things, as being someone who's been in the area, next step and grow with not only the recent success but just the presence in the community. How have you seen that firsthand?
So I've been here a while, and I hate to admit this, but last year was the first year that I'd ever attended a Lenoir-Rhyne football game.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to give a shout out to Leah Beth.
Okay.
Leah Beth, we had some community interactions together, and she said you should come to the football games. It's great. You guys will love it. Put her off. Finally went to a football game, showed up, and it was just an unbelievable experience. And
she was right.
I don't want to discount it for what it is, but you have to go, especially if you believe in community and family and all those things. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And from that moment, it kind of opened my eyes to what Lenoir-Rhyne was and what you guys were about and the people that are associated with this organization. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And so you heard it from him first. If you're out there and you have not been to a Lenoir-Rhyne football game, you're missing out. Obviously, this year's a little bit different, but once things get a little bit back to normal and we have full fans in the stands and all that kind of stuff, come out there, enjoy the great family atmosphere that Jay just talked about. You won't be sorry, that's for sure. You touched on this earlier. You guys are right by campus.
Yes.
Got an awesome new location downtown. Fantastic looking office space. With you guys being so close to campus and being involved with the LR community as a partner, obviously as a sponsor of Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics, how has our growth and commitment to the community and vice versa, you guys' commitment to Lenoir-Rhyne, helps you guys as a business be more successful?
It's such a good fit because our organization is about growth. It's about community. It's about family. It's about faith. And we try to really dig deep into that. And we want to associate ourselves with other people in this community that have the same values. So, again, going back to Leah Beth, Leah Clayton, Justin Hay, Allie Hay, Aaron Bessie, all these people that we've met and gotten to know in your organization share a lot of the commitment to push the community forward. And not to just say it, but to actually get out there and to do it.
Yep.
I went to see Kim Pate speak a couple weeks ago, and she talked about emerging leadership, and it happens in adversity. And she talked about having the vision and having the ability to know where you're going and know where to push and know what you're about. And that's a big part of what we're about as well. We want to push the community forward. We want to build strong relationships. A community is really just a lot of individual relationships with strong people and strong leaders that are committed to improving that. And you have to be committed to making your community better. And you guys are all involved. All the people I just mentioned, I've seen out, and you're working, you're doing it, you're making sure that the community, the school, the town is a better place to be.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. And I don't know what more of a pitch you need. If you guys are looking for a house in the area, call these guys. Call Jay Brown right here. They will take great care of you. They've taken great care of all of us so far in our home searching process, and they'll do the same for you guys. Great ambassadors for the community and a great asset to the community. Jay, before I let you go, we've got our Cars Plus Lenore. Fun question.
Okay.
What is your favorite song to blast with the windows down?
Oh, gosh.
When driving around?
I'd have to go with Beastie Boys, ill communication.
Yes. All right. Beastie Boys. See, Jay's hip
Yes.
too. So, I mean, what more do you need to hear? All right, give the people one last pitch on why they should use you guys for your house, and I'll let you go.
Because we love this town and we love the people in it. We love the Bears. Go Bears.
I love it. Yeah, go
Yes.
Bears. You heard it. I love it. Well, thank you, Jay. We appreciate it, and we appreciate your partnership.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, brother. You're a natural. Elliot, you're my next victim.
What does unlimited mean to you? At Carolina West Wireless, it means unlimited media, unlimited fun, and unlimited access to our nationwide high-speed network. Sign up today for an unlimited data plan and pay just $35 per month per line for 4 lines. And we'll include hotspot and big-time savings on a new smartphone. Take $350 off the revolutionary new Samsung Galaxy S20 and get more out of your unlimited. Expect more, get more. Only from Carolina West Wireless.
All right, welcome back to Blowing Rock Draft House. We're live with our head golf coach, Elliot Gealy. Elliot, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, Aaron.
Yeah,
Good
man.
to be here.
Yeah, good to have you. So I want to start off with something. I have a bone to pick with you. A few weeks ago, you altered my golf swing.
Yes, I did.
And I was in kind of a rhythm, you know. I wasn't hitting it very far, but I was at least hitting it straight. And since then, I haven't.
You sure about that?
He doesn't believe that. Well, he saw me not
I
hitting
saw
it
it,
straight.
yeah.
Now I can't get off the tee box. So I'm curious, did you purposely screw up my golf swing, or was that unintentional?
I got an opening in 2 hours, so
Okay.
let's look it back up.
All right, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's great. No, Coach is awesome. He allows me to come in and pick his brain about golf, and no one knows more about it than this guy, even though I think I'm unfixable at this point.
Nah, we're all fixable.
There you go. I like it. That's encouraging for guys like me to hear. So I see that you guys started a new thing called the FedEx Cup,
Yes.
which obviously if people watch golf, that's something that happens on the PGA Tour every year.
It is.
But you guys have taken that down to the team level. Explain how you guys have started that and how it's going so far.
Hopefully you're not going to get a call from FedEx and
Yeah.
want some sort of rights to that. But so when we got the word from the SAC that we weren't going to compete in the fall, we decided like we're gonna kind of get in the groove and practice for about 3 weeks, and then we're gonna kind of transition into a more competitive format. And we thought, hey, let's do the FedEx Cup format. We're gonna do each day is its own tournament, break it down into points. So every day there's a new opportunity for everybody on the team. And once it's that, we have about 10 rounds that we're gonna do over the course of the next 6 weeks. And we're just going to take that to the end of our season, and then we're going to crown like four people will get some awards for that. And we got a little tangible thing, which all student athletes love to have gear and things like that.
No
So we kind of
question.
made it worth it. And the kids are excited. You know, it's been a weird thing for everybody, but we know if we could create the right environment for these kids, they'll buy in. So it's been exciting.
Yeah, bringing that competition factor is important. Who's stood out so far? Who's winning on both sides?
On the women's side, we've got Amy O'Connor and Bea Espelosson.
Okay.
And then on the men's side, Dawson Walker is leading the men's
Awesome.
after 2 9-holes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So you touched on it a little bit with the weird, crazy times we're going through. You guys, just like we've been asking other spring sport coaches on the show, how kind of disappointing was last year getting cut short so abruptly, and what had you seen from the team early in the season to make you excited about the competition period that was coming up?
Yeah, you know, it was very abrupt, honestly.
Yeah.
We got back, the women actually got back from Florida on Wednesday morning, and we got our season canceled on Thursday afternoon. So it was very short. But I think, you know, the women, it was a little bit different. We were more, the aspirations were to play for a national championship. We were there. We finished top 20 in the country and had some momentum building for the last few weeks of the season, as well as the conference championships. And the guys the guys were a younger unit, but we knew we were building. We had 3 top 5 finishes with a team championship over at Catawba to end our season, and I was really looking forward to watching those guys grow a few more weeks and have a good conference championship as well. So, that was a tough way to end it, but for us, our core nucleuses are back on both sides, so we're really excited about watching the continuation of what we built on. We had some adversity hit like everybody else, but what, it's how we respond to that, and I think we're excited about what the future looks like, and we're just going to keep working and see if we can contend for conference championships next spring. Yeah,
that's a great attitude to have through all this for sure, and I'm glad that you guys are kind of on the same page and building towards the future instead of necessarily looking and dwelling on the past. What would you say kind of has been your team's kind of mantra and culture, for anybody out there that obviously isn't with you guys on a day-to-day basis or might not to get to watch you guys in person be in golf and it's not, football or lacrosse or any of those sports that have a lot of fans there. What would you want people at home or people here in the audience to know about kind of how you guys carry yourself and what your team mantra is?
Well, I have 2 sayings on my board in my office. One is very golf related, and one is more of how I think our athletic department kind of controls themselves. And I think we say LR takes care of LR. Like, we only can control what we can control. And I think if we do that on the golf course with all the other things around us, I believe our talent will show out and our preparation will help us be successful. So that's one thing. Secondly, in golf, since we're more of I'd say, methodical sport, we say stay in the moment, focus on the process. If you hear me on the golf course with my kids, I'm going to say stay in the moment, focus on the process, because every single golf shot has a process. It's a pre-shot routine, it's an execution, and it's a recovery. And if you do that better than everybody else over the course of 4.5, 5 hours, I promise you we'll be there. So those kind of things work together, and that's what we kind of live by.
Is there a more mental game than golf? I mean,
somebody may challenge me, but I'd like to take up the challenge. I was very fortunate to play for a living, and at that level, I mean, literally everybody can do it physically. It's just who separates themselves mentally from it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. The amount of times I get in my own head on the golf course is incredible. So you guys just kind of got the green light recently to potentially play in some fall competitions.
Correct.
Have you guys had anything scheduled yet? Are you guys in conversations about having a fall tournament?
We are. I do have one set up next Friday. We're going to go up and play a little tri-match with Lincoln Memorial in Tusculum. That's at the very end of our declaration of our playing season. And then I'm also trying to work with Catawba and trying to set up a little one-day thing over at Rock Barn.
Nice.
So trying to help that relationship and get them exposed and get our kids as many rounds as possible before we finish up. Any competition is great. We don't want to, if we can help develop our kids, we're just going to take advantage of that.
Awesome. And then from a competition standpoint, what can everyone expect to see from our teams this spring?
Yeah, like I said, our nucleuses are back. So I think on the women's side, we're just gonna continue to build and just continue to develop. And I think the more experience we get within our team will be better. The men, like they're young. We're missing some pieces that some kids decided to stay home for the fall semester. So we'll kind of catch them up when they get back in the spring, and hopefully we'll click back in and get back to winning tournaments.
Awesome. I love it. So now it's time for your Cars Plus question.
Sure.
And we cheated a little bit. I told Coach this one earlier in the day.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's okay. But that's okay. I wanted to give you time to think about it and give a hip answer. So, Coach, Cars Plus Lenore, what's your favorite song to blast in the car with the windows down?
We spoke about it. I do have 2. I'm more of a classic rock guy, so Journey, Separate Ways. Got to go with that one.
I like it.
Secondly, I became like a 30 Second to Mars fan, and Do or Die is one of my I love that workout song.
Respect.
So, yeah, so I love it. So a little different, but definitely things I love to blast.
Awesome. Well, I agree with you on both those choices for what it's worth, Coach. All right, Coach Gealy, let's hear it for it. Appreciate you coming on the show today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And we are going to, as Coach is transitioning off and Carlee Buck's coming up, I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple upcoming events we have in Bear Nation. The main one is our Bears Club annual auction. Normally that's at homecoming every year. This year it's going to be online, lrbears.com/auction. That's lrbears.com/auction. That link is not live yet. We will hopefully have that live in the next couple weeks so you guys can preview the items, but that'll take place November 2nd through November 16th, online for a 2-week period. So make sure you go check out those items wherever you are, near or far. We've got some incredible things lined up for you guys this year, so it would be a huge help to our Bears Club Scholarship Fund if you guys checked out that auction. The other things I got to mention is that basketball and swimming and even some fall golf are starting up soon. Stay tuned to lrbears.com, figure out when all those sports are starting back up. First competitions we've had in a while, so I'm sure you guys will be excited about that. And now we have head women's lacrosse coach, Carlee Buck. Carlee, you okay over there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Need a step stool, you know.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say anything. But
fine.
you've got a great crowd here. You want to give a
Yeah.
shout out to your team that's in the crowd today?
Yeah, we got the gang here. Thanks, guys, for coming. You know, no heckling. Okay.
I like it. Now, you guys can heckle as much as you want to. That's completely fine. So since they're here with us today, Coach, obviously you were a heck of a player at Stony Brook yourself. You've stayed active. Would you say that you're the best, well, it's active-ish. Would you say that you're the best women's lacrosse player in the room right now? Or would you say it's Kat Gaffney, who's about 26 years old, still playing at Lenoir-Rhyne?
No, you know, that's not fair. It's not fair. They could beat up on me. I'm out of shape.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
So
All right. Just
they have the edge on me there.
okay. Just had to ask, had to float that one out there since they all showed up. All right. Let's talk some lacrosse. So, you guys, also being a spring sport, had your season obviously, unfortunately, cut short last spring. What had you seen from the team so far that had excited you, and kind of how tough was that as a group to have, obviously, everything come to such an abrupt end?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough for everyone. I think for us, we started off really strong, really making some headway against some of the top 20 teams in the country to start our season, and then we were 2-0 in conference with some early conference games. So it was definitely disappointing. We had a really good group, and fortunate that even those circumstances, we have 7 of them back. Outside of that, I'm grateful that we were able to get them to come back because that's definitely promising for us. So
yeah, definitely. And what kind of, as a head coach, obviously, for people that obviously can't be behind the scenes like we can sometimes, what is your message to a team during a time like that? It's tough. I mean, I know that.
Yeah, I mean that was a hard one to come up with. That last day we decided to go out to practice and just enjoy ourselves because we didn't know the next time we were going to be on the field together. So I gave them a lot of credit for that and just wanted them to kind of enjoy themselves, to remember, to have that feeling so that whenever we were going to be able to get back, that was something in the back of their mind.
Definitely.
So that they could be excited for whenever, the next opportunity was going to roll around.
Yeah, no doubt. I know they're chomping at the bit to get back out there and play other teams, but this fall, what have you seen from the practices and workouts that you guys have had so far in terms of kind of leading into the spring? What's exciting? What pieces you do have back? What have you guys been working on, and what have you seen so far in your practice time?
Yeah, I mean, it's, one, just great to have them back, and I think I don't know who's more excited, me or them, as far as being back on the field, but their energy and kind of their buy-in to what our capabilities are and what our potential is, with the leadership that we have returning and, being fortunate to have, so many of them back, I think that paired with some of our incoming freshmen, all of our incoming freshmen, I'm excited to see where we're going to be in the spring.
Yeah.
So we're just taking one day at a time right now and trying to get better and be our best competition.
Yeah, and you talked about it. You've got some people that have been here for a little while, and then you've got some really exciting newcomers as well. How has that team chemistry kind of come together in the last few months?
Yeah, that's been fun to watch. We do this thing called PPOTW, Practice Player of the Week, and our first 4 have been freshmen, which is a really exciting thing to see.
Yeah.
One, not only from my perspective, but for our returners to see kind of what they bring every day and what they're going to bring to our team as a whole.
Yeah,
So
definitely. No, that's exciting. So what are your team's expectations for this spring when competition comes back? And then what can people at home expect to see when they come to games this spring?
I kind of mentioned that our goal is to be our best competition every day. We've got to train at the highest level we can, and unfortunately that's only going to be against ourselves. So, I think our goals are always going to be to put ourselves in a position to compete for a conference championship. But that starts with every day that we're out on the field. So we're not going to be in April until, we get through every day. So trying to get better every day, pushing one another, and keeping our eyes set on what we're capable of doing.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. And I have something that you guys have been so great at the last few years, and you've taken a lead role in, is something we obviously call Bears Supporting Bears. And your team is fantastic at that. So kind of talk about how you guys have really been able to lead the charge, so to speak, when it comes to having your teams at games supporting each other, doing community service, picking up the pieces wherever we can to help out with our community. Why is that so important to you, and why do you think your team has responded so well in that being a big deal for you guys?
I mean, I think that's important to everyone. But I think from a department standpoint, I look at our staff and how we're out supporting everyone all the time, and they see that from the top coming down, and that trickles into them. And so I think it's been great to see so many people get out to our games, because I know it's nice for them to have fans in the stands. And it's a game changer, when you're in a close game and you're hearing people and they see people over there. We joke about it sometimes, but I think they see what everyone else is doing and how important it is and what a vital part of our department is from a family standpoint. And so it's nice when kind of comes full circle for them.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's awesome, and we appreciate you guys doing such a great job with that. All right, it's time for your fun question. What does Carlee Buck jam to in the car with the windows down on a nice day in Hickory?
Well, you know, anything country. Now that I have a radio that works all the time,
I like it.
That's just exciting for me.
Wow.
So,
Big life steps,
yeah,
Coach.
Big stuff over here.
Big stuff. I love country music as well. By the way, that question was brought to us by Cars Plus Lenoir. I think I forgot to mention that. We appreciate their partnership. Do you want to give a shout out to Cars Plus Lenoir?
Yeah, Cars Plus Lenoir, thanks.
Yeah,
You know?
there you go. Great
Okay.
job, Coach. We appreciate you selling the brand. All right, let's hear it for Coach Buck. All right, thanks, Coach. We appreciate it. And we'll take a quick commercial break and be right back.
What does unlimited
Paramount Kia in Hickory. We want to see you driving a new Kia or, hey, a quality pre-owned Kia. We've got a huge selection of new and pre-owned Kias. You got to get to Paramount Kia in Hickory, Highway 70, ParamountKia.com.
All right, and we're back here at the Draft House for our final guest of the day, Coach Paradine, head men's lacrosse coach. Welcome.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll start with something that I think will get you back in the house later tonight. Today is the grand opening of Incredible Edibles, which
Yes, it
your
is.
wife, Fran, owns, and we're right
Yep.
next door to it, right next to the Draft House here in Hickory. Talk a little bit about her company and today's grand opening.
It's an awesome spot, kind of rebranded.
Yeah.
Still have the same yogurt, but a lot of healthy options as well. So it's, you know, the grand opening today. Make sure to go in and check it out.
I like it, and they do have fantastic froyo. I will
Love
say
it.
that. That's not even just a plug. It's true.
I'm a dark chocolate guy all the way.
Oh, my gosh. I'm a vanilla guy. So, see,
All
yeah,
right.
we don't agree on much. We'll get to that a little bit later. So last spring, Coach, you guys had defeated the number 1 and the number 3 teams in the country back-to-back weeks. You guys were up to number 5 in the country, I believe, when the season was cut short. I know this year your mantra is kind of unfinished business. You guys have rallied around that. Same question I'd ask Carlee and Elliot. You know, how disappointing was that for the team? How tough was that? How did you coach through it? And, you know, how do you think the team is dealing with it as we move forward?
Yeah, it was tough. You know, complete shock. You know, we played on a Tuesday, and I think Thursday
Yeah.
our season was canceled. And, yeah, I think it took about 2 or 3 weeks for it to settle in. But it's interesting how things work. About a month after the season was canceled, there was a huge gas explosion over here in Hickory.
Yeah, that's right.
And we had five or six guys who lived in that house. The house was completely destroyed. So had we been in season, I mean, it's just crazy how things work. But it was a shock. But we're ready to get back at it. You know, the guys are hungry to prove that last year wasn't a fluke.
I like that. And so how you touched on it there in your last sentence there, but how have the guys and you as a coaching staff been using that as motivation for this year?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, really doing all the little things to make sure that we prove ourselves every day. You know, it's a process. And our guys need to make sure that you can't, I told them yesterday in practice, we didn't accomplish anything last year. You know, it was, we won some games, but last year technically they were scrimmages. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't count.
Right.
So this year there are expectations, and we got to rise to that level of expectation. It's hard. It'll be different this year than it was last year. You know, last year we were coming off, you know, a subpar season, and the guys had all kinds of motivation. This year we're coming, you know, we're gonna have a target on our back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a different, you know, a different place to be in, and we got to be able to handle that.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question is you guys are in a different position this year. 2 years ago, coming off a year that, you know, obviously was a little bit of a down year for us in the program that you've established here at Lenoir-Rhyne, but after what we did last year, you guys aren't going to sneak up on anybody.
No.
People are going to be ready for you guys, know that you're a top 5 team, and that you can beat anybody in the country. Having the target on the back, but also at the same time having your team with the confidence that it has, and maybe, heads that are a little big right now coming off of last year. How do you guys approach that on a day-to-day basis in terms of making sure that they stay, grounded a little bit?
We really just try to make sure we're doing little things in practice. So just, attention to details and competing. Learn how to compete. Every year is different. Just because you had success one year, it doesn't necessarily translate. So our guys have to learn how to compete. They've got to learn how to prepare. And through the whole COVID thing, it's a distraction. But I told our guys, I said, our job this fall is to stay on the field as long as we can. We're going to have a distinct advantage because we're practicing, because we're together, hopefully all semester. There are a lot of schools in our conference who are shut down.
Right.
So we can have a leg up, but we've got to take advantage of that and make sure we're getting after it every single day.
Yep. By the way, your wife, Fran, has showed up. Fran, we gave you guys a shout-out. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Big shout-out, grand opening. There's the owner right there for people that are here. Great work. Great froyo. Fantastic froyo. So, Coach, what have you seen from the guys so far this fall? Because we have been able to have stable practices, consistent practices. What have you seen on the field so far this fall from maybe even some of the newcomers, guys returning? What have you liked? What have you maybe not liked?
Again, it's we had 6 months off, 5 or 6 months off, so we knew they were going to be a little bit rusty.
Sure.
We spent the first part of the season really trying to hone our individual skills in the preseason. Now we're starting to get into team stuff. But it's so funny. Every year when you start the year, it's brand new and it's from scratch. You end last year. Last year we ended up and we're firing on all cylinders. And you start that first practice in the fall, and it's like they didn't remember anything. So,
yeah.
We've just got to go back to the fundamentals. But we have a great group. Eric Dickinson is back, who I think will be one of the best players in Division II. We've got a great freshman class. We've got one of the best goalies in the country. We've really solidified our face-off area. We've got a transfer from Rockhurst, who was one of the top face-off guys in Division II. He came in as a grad student. So we feel like we have all the pieces to be right back where we are. It's just a matter of, every day putting in that preparation. And then the thing that's going to be a little bit different this year too is we're going to have a 2-month layoff.
Sure. Christmas breaks a little longer.
Yeah, Christmas breaks longer. So what we do, what we accomplish in the fall, those guys are going to have to really work over those 2 months to hit the ground running in January.
Definitely. Got to make sure they're keeping up and keeping their bodies in shape over break.
Yeah.
So speaking of all the pieces that we have and all the strengths you've seen so far this fall and stemming from last season, what are you and the team's expectations for the spring? I mean, is it conference championship, national championship? What are you guys talking now?
I mean, I told the guys, I said, when we came back in the fall, when we were talking about the COVID and how we had to really buckle down, I said, guys, understand, this is the first time that I've been here that I feel like we're going into the season as a top 3 team and a team that has a legitimate chance to win a national championship.
Wow, yeah.
And
that's exciting.
It is exciting. And but that alone doesn't get you there.
Doesn't do anything.
You know? So we have all the pieces, and I think those are our expectations to win our conference championship. We get to host it this year.
Right.
At LR, and hopefully we'll be, playing in that championship game here, which will be exciting. And then, we want to compete for a national title.
That's awesome. I think that's what everyone wants to hear, and obviously we know that you guys have the pieces to do it, but like you said, it's actually doing it that's what's going to separate the men from the boys, so to speak.
Yep.
So let's talk alma maters really quick. Back to things we don't agree on.
Top 5 NC, top 5 football team. Is State, did they take this year off for football? They still play?
Actually, I was going to ask, have you seen the hot start we're off to? We're 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, we're right outside the rankings. So after we beat Duke this weekend, we'll be in the top 25, setting up a ranked matchup next Saturday between the Wolfpack and the Tar Heels. Sorry, that was a typo. That's my bad. So what, Coach, for next week, I think Mac Brown was actually there while you were in school there.
He was. Speaking
to how old Grandpa Mac is.
Mac is back.
What's your prediction for next Saturday's Wolfpack versus Tar Heels, matchup?
The NC State, we're not even rivals anymore, right?
Oh, my God.
Is that even a rivalry?
Can we cut the show? Can we cut?
Heels by $1 billion, of course.
By $1 billion. Wow, that's unrealistic, Coach. Well, we'll agree to disagree on that. But all right. Last fun question for you. Same one, the Cars Plus Lenore sponsored question. What song does Coach P blast with the windows down, cruising around Hickory?
I don't know what song, but it would definitely be something from E Street Radio.
E Street Radio.
E Street Radio. It's blasting. And if it's not that, it's my son's Beats. Little Swiss. Little Swiss.
Shout out Little Swiss. Is he on Instagram?
He's on YouTube. He's on all kinds of stuff. You can Little Swiss him. Swiss A sauce. Sauce is Swiss. He doesn't sing. It's just beats.
Just
great
beats.
stuff.
So find your new great beats from Sauce
is Swiss.
Sauce is Swiss on YouTube. There you go. Shout out, shameless plug.
Shameless.
Not even a sponsor, but that's okay. We'll still let you have that. All right. Well, Coach P, let's hear it for Coach P. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it, man. All right. So we give another shout out to Blowing Rock Draft House for hosting us today, and Jay Brown Realty for being our presenting sponsor. Thank you, Jay. This week I was nominated by Luis Velez, who's a former athletic trainer at Lenoir-Rhyne, to do the 25-day 25 push-up challenge in honor of PTSD, anxiety, depression awareness initiative. So I'm not really sure if I can do 25 push-ups, but I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit and do that on camera because he made me promise that I would to spread awareness about PTSD and depression. So great cause, obviously, and it's obviously hit home for a lot of people and probably everyone's lives here. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and we'll sign off. Go Bears, and I'll do 25 push-ups on camera, I guess. All right, wish me luck.